What's good, YouTube? Today is 1/9/2025. Today is Thursday. The market is closed because of in memorial of or in remembering of Jimmy Carter. So I'm just going to film this video today because it's a short week. Tomorrow, I will more than likely not be trading. And if I do, I will explain the trade that I'm going to take. But I'm just going to do a quick weekly recap on my A2C mental game performance and then talk about some trades that I took, talk about why I took them or why I took profit on them, and go from there. So I'm going to pop up the A to C game analysis. Now for this week, I can pretty much say I'm not going to say I was on my A plus game. I'm going to say A minus. I'll explain why in a second. But felt pretty relaxed this week. Very decisive, I can say that. Semi-confident, so that's why I'm saying I'm A minus game. No thinking involved really. Besides a little bit, we'll talk about that in a sec. And then no outside noise. I love that I'm keeping that up. I have been for the past couple of months now actually not even opening up any social media from like 9 o'clock to after I take trades. So that may be 10 o'clock, 10:30, maybe 11 until after I take all my trades or don't take any trades to pretty much eliminate any potential outside influence in terms of me seeing what other people are saying about certain charts, certain setups that may or may not influence me to make a dumb decision. And then I wouldn't say I got cute with the trade. Like I said, I'm going to explain this, touch on that, but I'll say that I did change the original plan from the minute I took the trade until after. And then following the process to the T, I can confidently say that for the most part. I'll also touch on that as well. But for the most part, I followed all my sell rules. But yeah, let's get into why I feel like I was on my A minus game this week. But first, let's talk about some good trades that I took for this month. We got CRNC. Got TradeZilla pulled up real quick. So we netted a 8.2 R on this specific trade. So for every $1 I risked, I got 8.28 back. Our fill was on the green line right here. We ended up closing today. Now, I could have kept holding this, honestly, but given the market conditions, not looking too great, but not looking too bad, but not looking too great, I just sold all of it because I kind of want to just go full cash. Typically, I would still be in this right now, actually, probably trailing the 5 or the 10, but to be honest, I really didn't want to give back that many gains. There was no reason for me to just hold on to a 25% position to try to squeeze out, I don't know, a couple more R's. I really didn't care. I wouldn't say it was uncharacteristic or it was an emotional sell. It was more of just like the fact that like I just felt no need to hold on to any positions anymore. I just want to go full cash, be patient, get ready to size in on the next big winner. So yeah, that's what happened with CRNC. We finally sold all of our MVST off our 12/19 entry, so in December, 10 days from a month ago, actually. Uh, Fill in the green line. We took half of our profit on the 31st, and then full profit on the 7th for an average 2.55 return times our risk. Um, Nothing to really say about this. Wasn't an emotional sell. It's following our system, per system rules. Yeah, the market's just been kind of turning over, so I guess some gains were given back. Not much you can really do about it, though. It's all good. What else? Let's see. Oh, USD. We'll talk about that as well. um, we got 0.82 R on this, so we just sold on the third day a quarter of our position, somewhere around up here. I don't even remember. Doesn't really matter. The rest got stopped at break even. Uh, Good trade in my opinion. Semis looked great until they didn't. That's how it usually goes in this space. Like it's a 50-50 thing, 50-50 trade in my opinion. Semis were sort of setting up. Same thing with AVGO. Obviously, they inevitably, or not inevitably, but eventually ended up falling. It is what it is. Uh, Break even trade, I'm willing to take 10 out of 10 times. I'm cool with it. Uh, yeah. So a measly gain on that one. Now let's go on to our losers for the month, AVGO. So we took AVGO on this day here. We ended up losing 1.09R because of just some slippage. As always, you usually get a little bit of slippage. We risked 1% on this, or actually no, we risked like 0.49% actually, given that the market conditions were shit and I also just didn't have enough buying power. So yeah, this obviously took a shit. Pretty safe to say that it did need more time, even when I took it here. I put it in my notes, a 4-star setup. It wasn't a 5-star setup. It needed some more sideways, but I was willing to take a stab just because of how much semis looked good at the time. This is before Nvidia fucking fell like 8% or whatever it was, or 6%. So I was willing to take a stab. Obviously, didn't work out. It's all good. Felt pretty awesome taking the trade. Felt convicted. No second guessing there. So yeah, that was a paper cut loss. Going on to yesterday's trades, UVXY was one of them. So we took UVXY on this day here. Ended up getting stopped out. Yeah, for a loss of 0.81R. We risked less than half a percent on this. I think it was 0.45%, maybe even 0.40%. So paper cut loss compared to our winners this month. Nothing much to say about this. I would say, could this trade have been avoidable? I thought it was going to be maybe, I was going to play this for like 1 or 2 days, a quick 1 or 2 day swing or slash day trade. The original plan was to take this, cover my stop loss, and sell a majority of my position at 1 to 3 risk reward, 1 to 3 risk to reward. But obviously that didn't end up happening. So we instead took a paper cut loss. I'd rate this a 3.5-star setup. So I guess looking back, I could have avoided it because it wasn't a 5-star setup, and we're interested in taking only 5-star setups. But it was something I was willing to, a paper cut I was willing to take. Let's just say that. TZA. Now this is where I wouldn't say I wasn't on my A game, but so this is IWM inverse. So pretty much IWM as a whole looks like fucking shit. It's actually bear flagging. We took it on this day here. Um, as you know, the indexes are holding up pretty well on the 50-day. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. But oh my gosh, sorry, I don't know why my TC2000 is freezing. Of course, fuck. All right, sorry. I don't know why my TC2000 froze there. Oh, it's actually frozen again. Hold on. All right. So the idea here was to short IWM off this pretty nice bear flag on TZA. So we took 2 stabs. So the first stab we took, oh, sorry, wrong tab. First stab we took was a risk of 0.49% of our account. Took it somewhere around here on the 5-minute. Like our first average was 1312. So somewhere like literally right here. Obviously got stopped out. It was looking good for a little bit. Got stopped out, and then we took another stab at it on a reclaim of VWAP right around here for a fill of 1319. So somewhere around here on a reclaim of VWAP on the 5-minute. So quite literally top ticked actually. It ended up stopping me out again. Now, do I think this play is going to work? Absolutely. I think a short on IWM is ideal. Probably going to happen probably after this red folder print, depending on the news. Might be a good one for Friday. Might or might not take that trade. And part of me thinks I'm just really married to my bias that IWM, sorry, looks really bearish. So I don't know. Part of me thinks I'm just trying to marry or just being stubborn, and I don't want to refuse the fact that I might be wrong on trying to short IWM, but part of me also thinks I just timed it wrong and it's not ready to pretty much fall at least to the 200 day, maybe even to like some other lows. But yeah, the only reason why I would say I wasn't on my 1000% A game on this trade on the second stab, which I end on the reclaimable VWAP, is because I risked the same amount, or no, I actually went from risking 0.45% to 1%. I think that is pretty dumb on my part in the sense that why would I risk more on the second stab? I should have risked more on the first stab and then risked less on the second stab. But I went ahead and said, fuck it. Maybe a little part of me just was really married to my bias, so I guess I slipped up there. And then the second part where I slipped up was I moved my stop loss originally from 1290 to 1292. Now, some people may listen to me say that and say, bro, like that's not that big of a deal. The only thing is, the only reason why I really did it though was because I market filled and it filled me a couple more shares above 1% risk. So it was like 1.14 risk, and I'm just pretty OCD in terms of like the math. So instead of risking 1%, I was risking a little bit more, and that just kind of annoyed me. So I moved my stop up instead of low a day to like 2 points above low a day. And I wouldn't say it was emotional; it was more calculated in the sense that I really realistically went into this trade saying I don't want to lose more than 1%, like not even 1% above or point or half a percent above 1%. So I just moved it up. So I guess we could call that a little emotional. Not really. I would say the fact that what was more emotional was that I sized in heavier on the second stab than in on the first stab. But granted, on the first stab of this trade, I didn't have enough buying power to fully size in. I was going to originally risk 1% the first time too, but didn't have enough buying power for that. So I ended up risking less. So yeah, a semi slip up. I can still walk away from this week and say, yeah, I felt pretty good. Um, so for the so far in January, from the 1st to the 9th, we are up. Let me take a look. Let me take a quick look. 5.27%. Our peak was 14.42%. So we took some decent losses the past couple of days. The last 5 days, we are down 5% just because the market's been kind of taking a poop. So it's all good. But yeah, we were just also following our system. We weren't emotionally selling. Happens. Yeah, we're up 5.27%, a win percentage of 50% with a total of 8 trades, one going break even, a average win to loss ratio or RR ratio of 4.53. So every $1 I risk, I got 4.53 back. My profit factor is also 4.53 for the month of January thus far. Like I said, I don't really plan on taking any trades this week. I might take another stab at TZA, and this time I will probably go in with half a percent of risk, just because I don't know. It naturally feels very counterintuitive to me to bet on the market going down when I'm pretty much a perma bull. So yeah, we'll see. If anything, I probably just won't take anything, and yeah, just call it a week. But that pretty much concludes the video. We'll call it an A minus week in terms of my mental headspace. Catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.